it's Jess from Meyer Hatchery, and welcome to another episode of Meyer Makes. Today we are going to make some poultry-themed seed paper that you can give to your Valentine this Valentine's Day. Let's get started. The great thing about this project is it's not only a Valentine for who you give it to, but eventually it's going to be an amazing Valentine's Day treat for their flock as well. To get started, let's gather our supplies. First, we're going to need some paper to make our paper pulp. So I've got some recycled paper here that I've broken up into small pieces. You can use old newspaper, you can use unprinted computer paper, you can even use some cardboard eggshells that have been broken up into smaller pieces. You're also going to need some type of strainer for straining your paper. So I've taken an embroidery hoop and I had some leftover screen from a screen repair that I put in there to use. You can also use a picture frame for your strainer as well. Another item that people like to use is one of those splash guards that has a really fine mesh on it for straining their paper. You're also going to need a sponge for sopping up the extra water after we formed our paper. A couple extra towels, so I've put some down here and I'm going to grab one more just for good measure. The last thing that you're going to need is some seeds to put into your paper. Now, when you're choosing a seed for your seed paper, I suggest thinking about herbs and flowers that are really beneficial for our flocks. So today I'm using some basil seeds. You can use marigold seeds, you can use parsley. All kinds of really great herbs really benefit our flocks. I've left a link in the description below to some herb suggestions that you can use when making your seed paper. Now that we've got all our supplies gathered, I'm going to start making my pulp. To get started making our paper pulp, I've taken some warm water and I'm kind of pre-soaking my pieces of recycled paper here. I'm going to leave this for about a half an hour to an hour, and I'm going to really allow that paper to absorb the water. After the paper has fully absorbed all the water, I'm going to put this into my blender with a little bit more water, and I'm going to blend until I have a fine pulp. Everything has been broken down. For your blender, I suggest using a blender that you don't use for food anymore. If you need one, check out your local thrift store. You'll be able to find one for a few dollars and you'll have it for many crafts to come. Here's what my pulp looks like, all blended up into really fine pieces. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this bowl about halfway up with water so my pulp freely floats on the surface. Depending on the shape of your strainer that you're using, you could use a large bowl to float your pulp in. You can use a large cake pan, works great, or a dish pan works good too. Here's what our pulp looks like with all the water in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of our seeds here and we're going to float them on top of our pulp. This next step, we're going to be moving kind of quickly now, because we want our seeds to get incorporated into our paper, but we don't want our seeds to soak long enough that they're going to start to sprout. So once I put my seeds in, I'm going to start the process of scooping up some of my paper and dumping it onto my towel here to start drying. Here's what our seed paper looks like just after we formed it. Now we're just going to work on getting these to dry quickly. If you have a really nice day outside, you can go put these in the sun. I may hit mine with a little bit of the hair dryer to help dry them out even quicker. You can also use your towel and keep pressing to get all that moisture out of there. After these are all dry, we're going to make them poultry inspired. Here's what our paper looks like, all nice and dry. A quick tip, if you need these to dry really quickly, You can put them in a dehydrator at 130 degrees for about 1 to 2 hours, and it's going to dry really quickly and prevent those seeds from trying to sprout. Now, we need to make this more chicken-like. And here's our chicken seed paper Valentine. How cute is this? It's so simple, but what a really great present to give to somebody. Not only are they going to love the thought, but they're going to be able to grow some special herbs or flowers for their own flock. To plant your seed paper, all you need to do is place it into the soil 1/4 inch from the top of your pot or your soil, wherever you're planting it, and make sure to give your seed paper a good watering. There's so many options with this project. You can use the flower seeds and herb seeds, and it's really fun to watch your plants grow. Hopefully I've given you some inspiration to make some chicken seed paper Valentines of your own. I've left a link in the description below with some shape inspiration to help you while you're cutting out your chicken Valentines. Be sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that bell so you're the first to know every time a new video has been released. Thank you so much for watching.